Good morning, America. Bitter blast. Up to 6 feet of lake effect snow creating hazardous driving conditions as Americans head home from the holiday on what could be the busiest day ever for air travel. What to expect on the roads and at the airports if you can get there. Plus the all-out efforts for game time in Buffalo.
FBI selection. President-elect Donald Trump selects loyalist Kash Patel to head up the Bureau. What we know about him and why his confirmation process may be a battle.
Breaking overnight, new hostage video, an American-Israeli citizen.
My name is Idan Alexander.
Kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th, seen in a Hamas propaganda video. The reaction this morning from Israel, the U.S., and the young man's family.
Spending surge. Consumers racking up online for Black Friday. So what's ahead for Cyber Monday? The deals you can expect to see and the hot sellers fueling the buying frenzy. Plus, the look ahead to Travel Tuesday. How to save big on your next vacation.
Foot brawls.
Incredibly ugly scene for a beautiful rivalry.
Chaos on the field after major college upsets. Michigan taking down number 2 Ohio State.
This is a dangerous scene right now.
And the fights following the showdown between North Carolina and NC State. Plus the big NFL games on tap for today. ESPN's Herm Edwards sizes up the matchups.
And trimming trends. Decorating your tree this holiday season, from the ornaments to the tinsel.
Decorative Santas, 90s inspired ornaments, some Christmas trees.
Why everything old is new again.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
And we do say good morning, America. We made it, the final month of 2024.
We sure did.
Oh, it is December 1st, and we hope that you are in the holiday spirit with Black Friday there out of the way. We're going to take a look at the retail sales numbers and the deals yet to come for Cyber Monday.
Yeah, a lot of deals still ahead. Plus, the second Trump administration now 50 days away from taking charge. The president-elect naming his pick for FBI director, expected to ignite a major confirmation battle in the Senate.
But we begin with the Thanksgiving travel crush for those heading home today. A lot of people heading home, and some lake effect snow hammering 5 states, up to 6 feet in some areas before it's all over. Let's get the latest forecast from Samara Theodore. 6 feet, Samara?
I know, extremely prolific snowfall. While lake effect snow is common this time of year, these intense snow bands are making travel nearly impossible. Overnight, lake effect snow blanketing states across the Northeast and Midwest, leading to multiple wrecks in upstate New York. Tractor trailers jackknifing, needing a tow to get them back on the road. People already digging out, and they can expect more of that. At least 5 states issuing winter alerts, with some parts of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and New York expecting to see as much as 6 feet of snow in the coming days. In Erie County, Pennsylvania, residents struggling to free their cars from the snow.
I thought yesterday was bad. Look at it this morning.
The intense conditions leaving people stranded on the road. Authorities setting up emergency shelters for those unable to get home.
We're using front end loaders, backhoes, skid steers, anything we have to remove snow to at least get one side of the street open.
The governor issuing a disaster declaration and deploying the National Guard to assist residents in hard-hit areas. In New York, a state of emergency in several counties, with state resources deployed to aid in the response to the storm. But die-hard Buffalo fans won't let a little snow stop them from heading out, with tonight's match between the Bills and the 49ers.
Buffalo, here I come. I'm on my way.
The snow piling up outside Highmark Stadium, with the Bills Mafia out in force clearing out the seats. You got to give it to him for that. Now, take a look at this paralyzing snow in Gowanda, New York. These are some of the totals we've seen after the past few days. Barnes Corners, New York, 45 inches of snow. You can see Perrysburg, nearly 40 inches of snow. And we are seeing good amounts being dropped in the state of Michigan as well. As a result, we have a winter storm warning for Gaylord, Michigan. We have lake effect snow warnings from Cleveland right on into Erie, Dunkirk, as well as Buffalo, and especially Watertown. So this is Futurecast. This shows us where the next round of snow is setting up. 1 to 2 feet of additional snow possible in places like Erie, Watertown, New York, right on along the lake in Syracuse there. And we could see 3 to 6 inches in parts of Michigan as well. Future radar right now Also showing that after this is done, we wrap this up as we head into Wednesday. We're tracking snow in the Northeast. More on that a little later. For now, Gio, back to you.
So much snow, Samara. All right, thank you so much. And today is expected to be the busiest travel day of the Thanksgiving travel period. Millions are heading back home after the holiday. And ABC's Rena Roy is at New York's LaGuardia Airport following that. Good morning, Rena.
Hey, Gio, good morning to you. That's right. Well, you can see behind me, it is pretty quiet out here this morning, but that is likely going to be changing very soon. As you said, today could be the busiest this holiday travel period, which, by the way, is already just shattering records. The FAA saying there were 232,000 flights nationwide from last Sunday through Thanksgiving Day. That is an all-time high. And because it's been so busy here on the East Coast, the FAA has actually used special military airspace off the Atlantic coast and Gulf of Mexico at the military release for commercial plane use. Air traffic controllers have also been implementing traffic management initiatives to keep up with this record high travel. And so far, things have been pretty smooth. Less than 0.5% of flights have been canceled this travel period so far, and delays affected a record low of about 1% of flights. To be safe, though, especially with that wintry weather we just heard about, you, of course, should follow the basics that we often talk about, like getting to the airport early just to give yourself a bit of extra time or any long lines. And if you are hitting the roads, you'll really want to avoid that midday time period because the heaviest traffic is expected from noon to 6. Rhiannon.
We hope it all goes smoothly for those folks headed home, Rena. Thank you for that. We turn now to the Trump transition now, and another surprising move. The president-elect announcing his choice to head the FBI. ABC's Jay O'Brien joins us now from West Palm Beach with more details. And Jay, this move already stirring up Washington.
Exactly right, Rhiannon. Good morning. Overnight, President-elect Donald Trump announcing he plans to name loyalist Kash Patel, someone who's openly discussed using the federal government to go after Trump's political opponents, to be the next director of the FBI. Now, Patel has promoted conspiracy theories about a so-called deep state. He's even embraced QAnon. In December of 2023, he told Steve Bannon's podcast this about Trump's political foes, saying, quote, "We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. And, quote, we're going to come after you, whether it's criminally or civilly." Now, Trump has made it clear he plans to fire the current FBI director, Christopher Wray, who still's got 3 years left on his 10-year term that Donald Trump himself appointed Wray to in 2017. As for Patel, he rose to prominence as an aide to former Congressman David Muir, trying to push back against the Russia investigation in Trump's first term. He then took a series of top intelligence roles, and he was briefly the chief of staff at the Pentagon in 2020. But if he wants to be the next FBI director, Patel still has to be approved by the Senate, and that is expected to be a bruising confirmation process for him. Nonetheless, this nomination, a clear signal from President-elect Trump that he wants major shakeups at the nation's top law enforcement agency. And this morning, a spokesperson for the FBI saying that Director Wray remains focused on the men and women of the FBI and protecting Americans. Whit.
All right, Jay O'Brien for us. Thank you so much. Let's bring in ABC's chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl, who'll be hosting This Week later on this morning. John, good morning to you. Always great to see you. Let's pick it up right there. Kash Patel, now Trump's pick to lead the FBI. Where does this nomination now rank in the confirmation battles and the pushback he'll likely get in the Senate?
Whit, this is the big one. I mean, this I think will be the toughest, most bruising confirmation battle of them all. And as you know, there are some very controversial ones that have already been nominated. Look, Kash Patel is somebody who has made a name for himself as the ultimate Trump loyalist. He is the one, particularly in the years since Trump left the White House, who has waged rhetorical war on Trump's enemies, particularly those in law enforcement, the investigators. He has promised to root out what he calls the deep state. He has actually said that Trump's political opponents should be very afraid. This is the FBI director nominee for retribution, and you can bet that there will be a lot of pushback, certainly from Democrats, but I think you're going to see significant pushback from at least some Republicans as well.
And, John, more on the transition here. Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, they're heading to Capitol Hill this week to discuss major reform ideas with House Republicans. What do you expect from that meeting, and what does this say about Musk's growing influence in the new Trump administration?
I mean, it's quite the billionaire tag team. Look, there is no agency, there is no department of government efficiency. This is a new creation that hasn't been created by any law or anything, but they clearly, both of them, particularly Musk, have the ear of the president-elect. They are talking about rooting out waste throughout government. Look, there's plenty of waste to target, but the kind of numbers they're talking about, Musk has suggested $2 trillion out of the federal budget. Keep in mind, the federal budget is less than $7 trillion. So this is something that is would be massive and almost unimaginable. Would require cutting, things like Social Security and Medicare to actually get to those numbers. But look, they are serious about this, and I think they're going to get a warm reception from Republicans. And I do know that Democrats have also been sharing, at least some Democrats have been sharing some ideas of places they would like to see cuts in federal spending.
Yeah, and as you noted, still some questions about how much power this department will have going forward. John Carl, as always, thank you so much. And remember to tune into This Week later this morning. John will have much more on the Trump transition, the tariff threats, plus the latest on the conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine from White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. Gio?
All right, Whit, overseas now, Syrian rebel fighters are advancing southward after seizing control of most of Aleppo. That's one of Syria's largest cities, posing the most serious challenge to President Bashar al-Assad in years amid the country's civil war, which began back in 2011. On Saturday, a spokesman for the National Security Council said that the United States has nothing to do with the rebel offensive, saying the U.S. is closely monitoring the situation. He blamed the Assad regime for its refusal to participate in a political process laid out in a UN Security Council resolution and urged de-escalation. Rhiannon?
Gio, we turn now to reaction of a video appearing to show an American held hostage by Hamas. Israel's leader is calling it brutal psychological warfare, but also an important sign of life. ABC's Inez de la Cuetara joins us now from London with more on this. Good morning, Inez.
Good morning, Rhiannon. And fresh strikes on Gaza overnight as Hamas releases new video of American-Israeli hostage Idan Alexander pleading for a hostage deal.
My name is Idan Alexander.
Overnight, newly released Hamas propaganda video showing American-Israeli hostage Idan Alexander more than 400 days after he was first taken into Gaza.
I am an American-Israeli citizen, currently being held captive in the Gaza Strip.
Filmed under duress in the heavily edited video, the 20-year-old addressing Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President-elect Donald Trump, and his family. Every day that passes, he says, the pain increases inside me. I miss you very much. Every day I pray to see you soon. This as thousands again took to the streets of Tel Aviv on Saturday to call for a hostage deal.
Suddenly to see him alive and speaking, and when he cried, I just want to hold him, and I want him to know that we are doing everything that we can to bring him home.
Alexander's mother saying she heard from Netanyahu soon after the video was released.
And he told us that he's going to do whatever he can to bring the deal and to release all the hostages.
The White House saying it has also been in touch with his family, calling the video a cruel reminder of Hamas's terror against citizens of multiple countries, including our own. The hostage families desperate for their loved ones, and Gaza desperate for aid. Dramatic video shows the rush of people fighting for bread outside a bakery as severe food insecurity continues to spread. One woman and 2 children crushed to death in the chaos. As the World Central Kitchen now announces it is pausing operations in Gaza after an Israeli airstrike destroyed this vehicle transporting some of its staff, killing 5 people.
And the IDF says it was targeting a terrorist who took part in the October 7th attack. The World Central Kitchen says it has no knowledge that any of the car's passengers had any ties to October 7th. And after President Biden said earlier this week the U.S. is making a new push for a ceasefire in Gaza, Israel's president now says there are hostage negotiations going on behind the scenes. Whit.
Okay, Inez de la Cuetara, thank you. Today, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will mark World AIDS Day at the White House by displaying the AIDS Memorial quilt on the South Lawn. The quilt, which was originally displayed in 1987, now contains nearly 50,000 panels honoring more than 100,000 lives lost. A red ribbon will also be displayed to remember those who have died from AIDS-related illnesses, as well as the more than 40 million individuals living with HIV around the world. Gio?
All right, Whit, let's switch gears here and let's talk some shopping, shall we? Now to the holiday shopping season kicking into high gear. If you didn't get enough on Black Friday, get ready for Cyber Monday. Some big deals there. ABC's Alexis Christoforous, you know she's looking at all the deals that you can get from home. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it right from home.
The warmth of your home, and the deals keep on coming, guys. No, in fact, Cyber Monday, get this, it's expected to be the biggest shopping day of the year. Consumers are expected to spend a record $13.2 billion online alone. That's according to Adobe Analytics. More than half of those online sales are expected to come through our mobile device. So many of those cyber deals, as we know, have already dropped. If you've been waiting to buy a pair of AirPods, now's the time. I'm looking at you, Whit.
Yeah, I was all over that one.
Amazon has the AirPods Pro to 38% off. I think it's the lowest price ever. Now $154. Beauty and hair care products, big sellers this season. Just ask my daughter. Sephora dropping some Cyber Monday deals today, including up to 30% off. Hair tools by Dyson and Shark. They're not always on sale. And tools of a different kind for the DIY fixer-upper on your list. Home Depot has a subcompact drill by Rigid, 40% off. Just $89. Lots of great apparel deals as well. Gap has up to 60% off what it calls really big deals going on right now. This men's merino wool polo sweater was $79.95, now just $31.
Wow, that's
nice. A few of those.
Yeah.
Cyber Monday has already started at J. Crew. We're at 60% off everything plus free shipping. This girl's green velvet ruffle dress, perfect for the holidays, was $69, now $27.50.
Oh, my girls would only wear dresses.
There you go. Oh, one day. And after all that shopping, you deserve a little binge watching time, right? Our parent company, Disney, now offering only through tomorrow 70% off the Disney Plus and Hulu streaming bundle with ads, now just $2.99 a month for 12 months.
You get both of those for $2.99 a month?
You do, yes.
Okay. And there's always people trying to ruin our fun. There's a new warning from the FBI out. What do we need to know about this?
Yeah, online scams, again, especially if an offer seems too good to be true. So we just want to remind folks, we all know this, but it's important to be reminded that you want to avoid clicking suspicious links and attachments in emails, websites, social media. Be especially wary if a company asks you to update your password or account information. You want to avoid sites where the seller asks you to pay with a prepaid card, and always get the tracking number for items you buy online so you can follow the delivery process. Also, beware of ads promoting expensive products at drastically low prices. That is usually a big red flag.
And if you use Apple Pay, a lot of times they'll create a unique credit card number for that particular purchase.
That's true.
So that's a really good idea.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Alexis, thank you
Happy
so
shopping.
much.
All right, let's turn to college football now, and a wild scene on the field after Michigan got the best of their rival number 2 ranked Ohio State. ABC's Ike Ajachi is here with that. More of the action. Ike, pandemonium on the field. This was a mess.
Yeah, it really was. When everyone loves a good rivalry nowadays, right? Tom and Jerry, Brandy and Monica, Pepsi and Coke. But there may be no better rivalries than the ones seen on the football field during yesterday's slate of games. It was rivalry weekend throughout college football, starting with one of the fiercest of them all, Michigan-Ohio State, a game that needed the help of police officers to separate the two sides. Michigan versus Ohio State, one of the fiercest rivalries in all of sports, taking an ugly turn Saturday.
And now there's some skirmishes going on the field.
Number 2 Ohio State's battle against Michigan turning into an all-out brawl. The fight overshadowing the Wolverines' surprising upset of the Buckeyes 13-10. The visiting Wolverines coming into the game almost a 20-point underdog.
Incredibly ugly scene for a beautiful rivalry.
Right after the final whistle, emotions running high on both sides, especially after a Michigan player's attempt to plant their team's flag in the middle of Ohio State's field.
You guys are done after this game! Your season's over!
Multiple officers representing Ohio and Michigan deployed pepper spray. 2 Michigan players could be seen suffering the after effects.
And now people want to talk and fight. That's wrong. You know, this is bad for the game. Classless, in my opinion.
These guys, are looking to, put a flag on our field, and our guys weren't going to let that happen. This is our field, and certainly, we're embarrassed with the fact that we lost the game, but there's some prideful guys in his team that weren't just going to let that happen.
Chaos also following another big showdown.
This is not good. This is scary.
This one between North Carolina and NC State.
This is a dangerous scene right now.
A huge fight breaking out after a player on the winning NC State squad also tried to plant the Wolfpack's flag in the middle of the Tar Heels' home field. Now, some other big takeaways from rivalry week. South Carolina beating Clemson, ruining their college football playoff hopes, and the number 6 Miami Hurricanes, the class of the ACC this year, losing to unranked Syracuse. Now, the Hurricanes will have to wonder how far they'll fall when the rankings come out on Tuesday. Guys?
What a wild weekend.
It's the holiday season. Come on, right? Like Thanksgiving dinner with the family playing out on the field. All right, thank you so much. I'm just kidding. It was a lovely time with the family. Coming up on GMA, Travel Tuesday, just 2 days away, an expert guide on how to find the best deals for your trip.
And trends to look for in holiday decorations. Ready to get back to the 90s?
And NFL Week 13, ESPN's Coach Herm Edwards is right back here with his pregame analysis. We'll be right back. You're watching GMA on this Sunday morning.
I made my family disappear.
And welcome back to GMA on this Sunday morning. It is December 1st, and that means the Christmas season, it is in full swing. Disney's Freeform channel is celebrating with its 25 days of Christmas schedule. So for the next 25 days, you can watch all those holiday favorites, right? Rudolph, Frosty, Frozen, and of course, all the Home Alone movies, just to name a few. I just love all of those movies. This is the best time of year, isn't it? It really is.
So many classics to watch.
Oh,
starting
so good.
today.
You filthy animal.
Now let's get a look at some of the other big stories that we're following on this Sunday morning. Happening right now, lake effect snow blanketing parts of the U.S. during this busy holiday travel weekend. And more snow and cold are in the forecast. At least 5 states are issuing winter alerts, with some parts of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and New York expecting to see as much as 6 feet of snow in the coming days. This, of course, as millions of Americans have been making their way home after a record-breaking Thanksgiving travel period.
Also right now, investigators in Missouri are trying to figure out what caused a massive home explosion Saturday. 6 people were inside the Jefferson City home when it exploded. 3 of them were critically injured. The fire department saying it all took more than 3 hours to get all 6 people out.
And enjoy those Thanksgiving leftovers while you can. If you're wondering how long you can actually prolong the feast, the USDA says Monday is the toss-out day. The agency says bacteria can start growing on the food after 3 to 4 days. You can also freeze the leftovers, and that gives you 2 to 6 months. You can still hang on to. We got a lot left.
We have none left.
Oh, I got.
Well, you have what today to eat?
Today, I'm going to get a double-decker turkey sandwich today. Just load it all on there. One sandwich.
Ours is gone. Ours is gone. All right. We are going to start this half hour here with the millions of Americans on the move. It's expected to be the busiest travel day, a record travel day for the TSA, as so many head home from the holiday weekend. The crowds are expected to build up. More than 3 million people are projected to take to the skies today on what could be the busiest air travel day ever. Records have already been set. The FAA reporting there were more than 232,000 flights between November 24th and the 28th. So here, looking at the travel picture for today and beyond, including those Travel Tuesday deals, is Going.com travel expert Katie Nastro. Good morning.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy post-Thanksgiving.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, right. Let's get right to it.
Happy Travel Tuesday, I guess.
Yes,
But let's go ahead and start with this, because obviously you have millions of people who are hitting the road. Advice for them right now.
The biggest piece of advice that we always talk about at Going is if you encounter any type of flight disruption, which with winter fast approaching, we're starting to see some of that, you want to act quickly. Speed is the name of the game. That means getting your phone out, already having your airline app, already downloaded, having what I like to call a fallback flight in mind, so you can quickly search for what you need. Rebook yourself a lot of the time. If you can't do that, get on that domestic line. Take it one step further. If that line is too long to get in touch with someone, always try the international customer service line. Most U.S. carriers have international agents that can look at the schedules, rebook you just the same.
That app is so important, because getting to it before other people get to those customer service agents.
There's not an endless supply of seats to get rebooked on, so you want to be the fastest
And the fallback
person.
flight, too. That's key. All right, so many people aren't even home yet, but we're already thinking about the next big trip. So Travel Tuesday coming up. What are the best deals?
Okay, there's a lot. So we're looking ahead to Travel Tuesday. We're already seeing some deals ahead of the day. American Airlines is doing some flight deals on various routes. You can go from New York to London for $396 round trip, which is a going approved deal. You can also take advantage of some deals out to Asia on Cathay Pacific, Zip Air $443, LA to Tokyo. That is fantastic. You can also take advantage of hotel deals. Hyatt, IHG, Marriott, all doing promotions. Hot tip with them, sign up for their loyalty program so you get the best discount offered, and it's free to sign up. Some boutique hotel brands like Arlo, Ennismore, they're doing 40 to 50% off select hotels around the world. And finally, to round it out, cruises. We've got expeditions to Antarctica and other big ticket destinations starting at 20% off. Some more family-friendly brands, as well as couples, can take advantage of the second sailor program with Virgin Voyages and Celebrity, 75 to 80% off that second sailor. So it's like buy one, get one free-ish.
Okay. Does Antarctica have a beach? Because it's already closed.
I know. Those are those, once in a lifetime, we pack a lot of clothes for those trips.
Bucket list.
Yes.
So a lot of great deals, but when you're buying these discounted hotels and flights, is there anything you need to know or be wary of?
Yes. If it looks too good to be true, it just might be. We want people to be hyper aware that a lot of these promotions come with non-refundability. However, with airfare, you have that 24-hour rule when you book direct, so always keep that in mind. You might decide, I had talked to the wife or I talked to my partner, it's not working out for that. You can get that refund back within 24 hours. But a lot of these promotions are on select dates, select itineraries, select destinations. So if you're planning something for summer 2025, it's likely it's not going to fit perfectly into where you want to go, when you want to go. So keep that in mind. And remember, there are 364 days out of the entire year to still save through the Going app and other travel platforms. So don't despair if you don't see something you love.
Okay.
We're going to help you save either way.
We will not despair.
We love to save money, Kate. Thank you so much.
What's hot in holiday decorating this year? ABC's Will Gans has been looking into the tree trimming trends. We've already been debating this here. Gio called my tree tacky.
The way you described it.
The gag is that's on trend this year. So you are
welcome.
the trendsetter with Johnson. Gone are the days of disco Christmas, pink Christmas, and minimalist miss. In 2024, more is more, and fans of Beanie Babies and the Spice Girls will be happy to know that a return to the 90s is making this a cool Yule.
When it comes to trimming the tree this Christmas, we're going back to the 90s. Leaning into a vintage vibe this year, like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
Dad, can you come here and help me?
Hashtag nostalgia, seeing a 100% increase in TikTok posts between 2023 and 2024 so far.
My Christmas Pinterest board is looking very 90s nostalgia, and I want to recreate this vibe, so I went to the thrift store.
Nostalgic Christmas and 90s Christmas are two of the top trending aesthetics on TikTok this season.
People are really looking for something that will give them a boost, and sometimes we're reflecting back on times when life was simpler. It helps us feel a lot better.
The Washington Post calls it tacky Christmas, writing, "This isn't the first Noel for these ornaments, and they have the scratches and scuffs to prove it. But there's so much to look at, you probably won't notice."
Oh, look at that. Will you look at that? Isn't that glorious?
Decorative Santas, 90s inspired ornaments, some Christmas trees.
And if we're talking outdoor decor, Better Homes and Gardens says to swap outdoor inflatables for classic elements, a la Clark Griswold. Because in 2024, more is more.
Tons of throwback decorations are great, but only if you have a tree to put them on, right? And it's been a tough year for growing trees after Hurricane Helene and other events. Tomorrow on GMA, we're going to a Christmas tree farm to talk to owners there about the state of Christmas trees, all the way from Charlie Brown to Clark Griswold.
How fun. What a fun piece.
I love it.
Well, what I loved was I said, that doesn't look tacky. And then you said, the New York Post says this is tacky.
So I'm on trend.
You are on trend. All right, Will. That was a lot of fun. Coming up here on Good Morning America, ESPN's Herm Edwards shares his insights on the key matchups in the NFL. Stick around.
We are turning now to the NFL. It is week 13, and there is a lot at stake. Joining us once again is ESPN football analyst and our friend Herm Edwards. Herm, welcome back. I am starting you off with a really tough one and very fitting for Thanksgiving weekend. Let's start with the Battle of the Birds, the Eagles versus the Ravens. So much talk about the running backs. So my question for you, which is the better duo, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, or Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry?
Ooh. Oh.
You got to pick.
I'm going to say, well, it's easy for me to pick because I'm a Philadelphia Eagle, so I'm going with the Eagles. That's an easy pick. But when you think about this game, think about it this way as well. These two teams could meet in the Super Bowl. There's a possibility, right? But both these teams, I think, have their dynamic offenses. Obviously, the Ravens have the number 1 offense in the league, and the Eagles have the number 3 offense in the league. So it's going to boil down to this. Defensively, not so much the runners and Saquon Barkley and Henry, but what defense can keep the quarterback in the pocket and not let the quarterback extend plays. There where the trouble lies for both these defenses. These quarterbacks are unique. They can throw the ball, but they can also run the ball. So that's going to be very important on the defenses. This is my favorite play of all, the brotherly shove, or whoever you want to call it.
The brotherly shove.
Eagles, right?
I love that. Hey, let's talk about my Niners. I know you're a Niners fan as well. Quarterback Brock Purdy set to return in a huge matchup against the Bills. The season's on the line, Coach, and this is happening in the snow. They're talking about 6 feet of snow. How do you see this one going?
Oh, this is going to be tough for 49ers.
Yeah.
Bosa's not going to be involved in this game either. It's going to be, the conditions are going to be very bad. Below 30, could be snow. With that being said, the key for the 49ers is can they contain Josh Allen as a runner. This is a run game. Mason and McCaffrey are going to have to be very special today against this Buffalo defense in Buffalo. But the 49ers defense, they have to stop Josh Allen from running. He's going to take off and run and make some big plays. This is a hard place to play, especially now in the winter, and you're the 49ers, you're a little bit beat up. I'm wishing them well, but I don't like what I see right there. That's in favor of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. All right, Coach, let's check in with Who's with Herm. So Whit has 10 so far. Janae has 9. Yep. I've got 3. I'm getting there, Herm. I'm getting there. Herm, you've got
like
7.
You. Yeah, I reached out last week. I wanted the other hardball brother to win, and they were winning for about a half, and then all of a sudden Baltimore showed up the second half.
Well, there you go. All right, so who you got for Monday Night Football? You got the Broncos and the Browns.
Oh, this is not hard. This is Denver all the way. I mean, Denver's trying to become a playoff team. They have a chance to do that. I think Bo Nix is playing very well. Coach Payton has done a nice job with this team. They have an outstanding defense. They're one of the top 5 defenses in the league, so I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos.
All right. Whit?
I'm going Broncos, too. I'm keeping the streak alive.
Okay, and I think Janae also has the Broncos. Who do you have?
I'm going to pick the Broncos, even though it pains me as a Chiefs fan to say that.
I've learned my lesson. I'm sticking with you. I'm going with the Broncos. All right. Oh, Janae has the Browns. That's an update. Janae has the Browns.
She's fine. She's got the Chiefs. They'll be okay. The Kansas City Chiefs are fine.
Herm, thank you so much. You're the best, my man. And you can catch the Browns-Broncos game Monday night at 8:15. On ESPN.
It's time now for our play of the day. Will Gans is back to bring it to us. What do we got?
This is a great one, you guys. His name is Ace Green. He's a content creator who's racked up 9.4 million likes for his live dance lessons on TikTok. Ace has been dancing his whole life, inspired by Michael Jackson's artistry. He's hosted these virtual dance classes for healthcare workers, for elderly dancers, and even for dancers with disabilities. He first went viral when his live videos took off in Pakistan. He has no idea why the algorithm took his live videos to the For You pages there, but he's built a community of aspiring dancers there. In fact, he was recently surprised with his face on their T-shirts. That's how much fun they're having. And I asked Ace about why he wanted to bring dance to all of these different communities.
I just thought, bringing some type of happiness to the world, but at least doing my part, in that case. I know not everybody speaks English, not everybody speaks Spanish, not everybody speaks all these different languages in the world, but I know one thing everybody can communicate through is dance. And I figured that's a universal language that everybody can do. So that's why I wanted to choose dance.
What a guy.
Amen.
And by the way, if he seems like a tough teacher, it's because that's how his grandma taught him. But, demanding excellence brings out the best in people.
I love that so much.
Amazing.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a great week.